In this video, we analyze the fifth soliloquy that is spoken in Shakespeare's play Hamlet. As you can see, I cut up the soliloquy in different pieces so we can talk about them one by one. But first, to fully understand what this soliloquy is about, you need a bit of backstory. This soliloquy takes part in Act 3, Scene 2 of the play. This is the moment after Hamlet finds out that his uncle, Claudius, had killed his father. Now, Claudius is married to his mother, Gertrude. Gertrude has asked Hamlet if he could have a talk with her in her chamber. Polonius escorts Hamlet to her room, but he asks for a short time alone before he enters. And in this moment he delivers his soliloquy. Now that we have this information, we can look at the soliloquy. Alright, let's start with the first piece. "'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out." Hamlet starts the soliloquy by describing the time of day. Night is always thought to be a time when we lose our inhibitions and do those things we would never be comfortable with in the light of day. That's why it starts with the time of night. He adds witching because it's a reference to the witches' Sabbath. During this time they would perform their evil rites, including conjuring up the devil and drinking human blood. When Churchill yawn, he means yawn as in open to release the dead. This part really sets a mood. That's why he continues with this part. "Contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood, and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on." Again, referencing that in the darkness he would do stuff that the day would never approve of. So he means by this that he is in a vengeful state of mind and believes that it's the perfect time to do the evil. So if we look at these parts together now, it shows the beginning that states what the mood is and what he could do with this mood. But if we look to the third part, he exclaims, "Soft, now to my mother." With this soft, he means enough. Enough with this state of mind. So with this, he wants to end the thrill of thought and murder that he is on. He now wants to focus on the things he will say to his mother and how he will handle this new situation where he knows that she married the man who killed his father. Now, the fourth piece. "O heart, lose not thy nature, let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom." What he means by this is that his heart must not lose the nature of loving his mother. It must not lose the nature of the relationship between a mother and her son. The reason he doesn't want the soul of Nero to enter this firm bosom is because Nero was a Roman emperor who had killed his own mother after she had poisoned her husband. Hamlet is afraid that his anger might lead him to do the same thing. Nero ruled Rome from 54 to 68 AD. He is remembered primarily for his persecution of Christians and his involvement in the burning of Rome in 64 AD. This is the first part where he tells himself to not kill his own mother, even though he's in a very angry state of mind in which he could kill. If you look at the fifth part, it says, "Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none." You can see he does wants to speak to his mother in a firm manner. He will say harmful things to her, but he won't use any harm on her. Now, in the sixth part, he clarifies, "My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites." He will say stuff, but he won't actually do them. The last part, he makes this a bit more clear. How in my words somever she be shent, to give them seals, never my soul consent. In this last part, he tells again in his words, when he speaks to her, he will be ashamed. With the last line, to give them seals, never my soul consent, he means that documents needed a seal, and that way it meant that the words that were written had to actually happen. It looked something like this: you had a document, and in the end you had a seal that made the document rightful. This way the words that had been written needed to actually happen. So with this last line, he is saying he will never give his words a seal, so that way he doesn't have to act upon them. So the soliloquy ends with him telling himself that he will speak awfully to her like she deserves, because she married the man who killed his father, but he won't ever take upon his actions of the things that he is saying. And now if we take a look back at these 4 parts, you can see some resemblance. One thing I noticed is that in these 2 parts, he is saying almost the same things. He tells himself that he will use cruel words, how he will shame her with his words, but how he won't actually harm her. Then you can even take this part where he also tells himself that he won't ever harm his mother, and then you have this short line tying it all together, because he might say that he will kill her and he might say that he will harm her, but he knows in his soul that this won't happen, hence why they would be hypocrites. So now we look at everything together again. Let's have a small summary. In the first 2 parts, he tells about his mood. He tells that he could kill. This cuts off at soft, now to my mother. And then in the last 4 parts, he tells himself how he won't kill his mother, even though he could, but how he will speak to her in a way that she deserves, because she married the murderer, the man that killed his father. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you have a better understanding of the soliloquy now, and hopefully Dai has enjoyed.